Go when you're ready. Good afternoon and welcome to the Sanitation Board meeting for the City of Beech Grove on this Wednesday, January the 9th. This time I'd like for the participants to introduce themselves, please.
Bob White.
Tricia Lemminger, Deputy City Attorney.
Sarah Kincaid, Clerk Treasurer.
Ask our clerk to read the minutes of our last, we should have two sets of minutes, right?
Sanitation and Board of Works.
Okay, you have a
December
special
12th.
and a regular.
I just have regular.
Okay, the regular meeting of the Board of Sanitation, please.
Okay. Board of Sanitation minutes, December 12th, 2007. Mayor Wright called the meeting to order at 3:03 p.m. Board of Sanitation member Bob White was present. Also attending were Clerk Treasurer Mary Carpenter and Deputy City Attorney Tricia Lemminger. Bob White made a motion to accept the November 7th, 2007 minutes as read. Mayor Wright seconded the motion, which was approved. Bob White made a motion to accept the November 17th, 2007 minutes as read. Mayor Wright seconded the motion, which was approved. Sam Earl gave reports for both the solid waste and wastewater departments. Bob White made a motion to approve regular claims. Mayor Wright seconded the motion, which was approved. Bob White made a motion to pay manual claims. Mayor Wright seconded the motion, which was approved. The next Sanitation Board meeting will be on December 26th, 2007, 3 p.m. at City Hall. Bob White made a motion to adjourn. Mayor Wright seconded the motion. The meeting adjourned at 3:09 p.m.
You've heard the reading of the minutes of the regularly scheduled Board of Sanitation meeting. I need a motion to approve them as read, please.
Motion to approve is read.
Second that. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. We will need to produce 12 meeting minutes for the
For
12:26
12:27.
meeting.
12:26.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure it was taped, though.
Okay.
You might find minutes for
I'll
that.
get those.
Audio.
Was it audio?
I think
Okay.
so.
Okay, I'll get those.
Then we will hear the minutes from the 12:26 meeting at our next Sanitation Board meeting. So that concludes minutes for the Sanitation Board under special presentations. We have none at this time. For Sanitation Department reports, you have those, Tom? Solid waste and wastewater.
On the wastewater, we had 3 service calls during the month of December. One where the main was blocked and we were able to open it. One where the main was clear and the resident had a problem. And one where the homeowner's line was damaged by a contractor working for the city, so the contractor was able to repair that at no cost to the city or the homeowner. And we did 32 preventive maintenance checks of manholes where no problems were found. And then for solid waste, we picked up a total of 365.6 tons at $27 per ton for a total of $9,871. That was down 112 tons from November, which is $3,036. And I have no explanation for that. That's it.
Any comments or questions from board members? Thanks, Tom. Again, all these reports are on file in the clerk's office for public review. Under unfinished business, we have none today. For new business, what's the pleasure of the board to approve the claims dockets for the Sanitation Board, please?
Grab the right ones. Manual wastewater claims, right?
And you should have manual and a regular wastewater.
In the amount of $113.25. I'd like to make approval for that.
I have a motion. I second that motion. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. And for the regular?
Make a motion to approve the, grab the regulars. Regular wastewater claims in the amount of $70,968.30.
I'll second that motion. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Amendment, we have 2 items, renewal items that are treated as amendments to the agreement between the City of Beech Grove Sanitation Board and M.D. Wessler for engineering services. Brent, you want to just give the board a brief update on both of these items, please?
Thank you. The first amendment would be to our annual sanitary sewage collection system services. Basically, this covers calibration of the flow meters, dealing with any malfunctions with the flow meters, coordinating sanitary service to planned or proposed development in the city limits, and any other sanitary items that may come up that arise as a part of the sanitary collection services. This is the same contract we've had for quite some time. The fee, not to exceed amount, is $18,000, the same amount as last year, and it would be based upon our 2008 hourly rates, time and materials. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Board members have any questions? If not, I'll move to approve amendment number 3 to the agreement between the City of Beech Grove Sanitation Board and MD Wessler for an amount not to exceed $18,000. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. And if you would present an amendment, there's an additional item there that's on the other agenda that didn't make this one, for the same service for the stormwater system.
Thank you. Yes, this would be for the 2008 stormwater services. Basically, over the past 5 years, we've been assisting the City of Beech Grove with their stormwater Phase 2 permit. We would continue with the assistance on the implementation of the stormwater permit. Also, the permit is up for renewal this year, so there's a little more effort involved in terms of sending in the renewal application and paperwork. Also, we would be assisting with stormwater drainage complaints, especially last year. We have been going out and meeting with property owners and residents that have expressed concerns about drainage and coming up with plans to address those drainage problems, as well as updating the stormwater master plan as necessary. And again, dealing with any on-call issues that may come up as they pertain to the stormwater drainage system. The proposed not to exceed amount for that would be $25,000, and again would be based on time and materials. Again, I'd be happy to answer any questions if you have them.
I would move approval of amendment number 2 between the City of Beech Grove and MD Wessler for the 2008 stormwater services. I need a second. Not to exceed $25,000. I need a second, please.
Second that motion.
A motion is second. Any further discussion or questions? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thanks, Brent.
Thank you.
I do know that the Brent mentioned the stormwater master plan, and we do have a comprehensive, for all the issues that have been surfaced from homeowners in the city, and some of the more infrastructure-related issues that we've had since.
Yeah, there's been 7 projects carried on the books since 2001, in which, when the City of Indianapolis implemented the stormwater user fees, the thought was, well, let's present the City of Indianapolis with, 7 of the major drainage improvement projects that are needed out there. Obviously, those were never acted upon by the City of Indianapolis, and from those 7 projects, I think we've added at least another 7 or 8 or so of more perhaps resident-specific complaints. And what happens is a resident calls into the action center or in the mayor's office, and from there we're instructed to go out and meet with the property owner and get a better feel for the problem, and also throw out some options for dealing with the drainage problem.
So it's been a helpful tool for the city to at least have the early effort done and documented, so when the funds do become available to address some problems, we know exactly what the most serious problems are, what the budget engineer's estimate is, and the recommended approach to the problem.
It's a great financial planning tool, and it prioritizes the projects, basically, where are you going to get the most bang for the buck and who's going to get the most benefit. So yes, it's good to have.
Thanks, Brent. That concludes new business before the Board of Sanitation. Our next meeting for the Board of Sanitation will be our mid-month meeting, which is 1 week from today, which is January the 16th at 3 p.m. Unless there's other business before the board, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
I have a motion. I'll second that. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. That concludes the Board of Sanitation. This time I'd like to call to order the Board of Public Works and Safety for the City of Beech Grove again on this Wednesday, January the 9th. If the participants would introduce themselves again, please.
Bob White.
Tricia Lemminger, Deputy City Attorney.
Sarah Kincaid, Clerk Treasurer.
Again, I'll ask our clerk to read the minutes of our December 12th meeting, and there will be a December 26th set of minutes for this on the next,
Yes.
for the board approval at the February meeting. Go ahead.
Board of Works minutes, December 12th, 2007. Mayor Wright called the meeting to order at 3:09 p.m. Board of Sanitation member Bob White was present. Also attending were Clerk Treasurer Mary Carpenter and Deputy City Attorney Tricia Lemminger. Bob White made a motion to accept the November 7th minutes as read. Mayor Wright seconded the motion, which was approved. Bob White made a motion to accept the November 21st minutes as read. Mayor Wright seconded the motion, which was approved. Each department gave a report. The reports are on file in the clerk treasurer's office. Bob White made a motion to pay regular claims. Mayor Wright seconded the motion, which was approved. Bob White made a motion to approve manual claims. Mayor Wright seconded the motion, which was approved. Bob White made a motion to renew the Network Solutions contract. Mayor Wright seconded the motion, which was approved by voice vote. Bob White made a motion to approve a handicap permit for Lillian Pelzer, 217 South Fifth Avenue. Mayor Wright seconded the motion, which was approved by voice vote. Mayor Wright made a motion to approve Chief Buckley's recommendation to offer permanent employment to Mike Boone. Bob White seconded the motion, which was approved by voice vote. Mayor Wright made a motion to accept Ken Dean's letter of retirement. Bob White seconded the motion, which was approved. Ken has served 29 years. Mayor Wright made a motion to hire James S. Johnson as a probationary firefighter. Bob White seconded the motion, which was approved. Mayor Wright made a motion to hire Sean M. Toller as a probationary firefighter. Bob White seconded the motion, which was approved. Mayor Wright made a motion to hire Tina M. Lee as a probationary firefighter. Bob White seconded the motion, which was approved. Mayor Wright made a motion to accept Chief Buckley's recommendation of promoting Troy Haskett to the position of captain. Bob White seconded the motion, which was approved. Mayor Wright made a motion to accept Chief Buckley's recommendation of promoting Lynn Reckweg as the position of lieutenant. Bob White seconded the motion, which was approved. Mayor Wright made a motion to accept Chief Buckley's recommendation of promoting Bruce Silly to the position of engineer. Bob White seconded the motion, which was approved. Mayor Wright made a motion to accept Chief Buckley's recommendation of promoting Larry Jones to the position of engineer. Bob White seconded the motion, which was approved. Mayor Wright made a motion to table the Phase 2 implementation of NIMS. Bob White seconded the motion, which was approved. Mayor Wright made a motion to declare certain items from the police department as obsolete at the recommendation of Chief Whitmer. Bob White seconded the motion, which was approved. A new executive session hearing was set for Matthew Hobdy after the January 16, 2008 meeting of the board. The next Board of Works meeting will be on December 26, 2007, after the Board of Sanitation meeting. Bob White made a motion to adjourn. Mayor Wright seconded the motion. The meeting adjourned at 4 p.m.
Board members, you've heard the reading of the minutes of the December 12th Board of Public Works and Safety meeting. I need a motion to approve them as read, please.
Make a motion to approve as read.
Motion, I'll second that motion. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. And then the December 26th minutes we'll have available for our February.
Yes.
We don't do minutes on the mid-month meeting, so you get to February for that one.
Okay.
That brings us to special presentations, and for this particular board on this agenda spot, I would like to take an opportunity to, one, to introduce some of the guests with us today, not so much unfamiliar faces, but some of our guests and familiar faces from our Local 416, our FOP Lodge 86, and our communications union within Local 416. Today we want to publicly acknowledge and say thanks again to our labor unions for their strong working relationship with the city. Mike, you want to make your way up, and Carrick or Aaron or whoever, and representing FOP Lodge 86, Officer Parker and the other guy, and Mark representing the communications. This is an opportunity for us to, again, as a city and labor unions, to recognize the relationship that we've had and the process that we've had to come up with 3-year agreements for all 3 labor unions. Gary, I don't know if you want to add anything, but we do want to sign these today. So,
no, nothing other than I appreciate the city's efforts over the last several years in developing the contract that we're getting ready to sign. This is, most people don't understand, and there's a clause in these contracts that asks the city and the union to sit down basically a year before a new contract is due and start negotiation. Well, we have had an open dialogue with the city, and I know the FOP has as well, from day one, from the time that one contract is adopted until 3 or 4 years down the road when the new one is ultimately adopted. An open dialogue is maintained, making our job, and we think the city's part in that, a much easier process in the long run. We appreciate the city's willingness to do that with us, that dialogue. I know it's not that way everywhere in which these contracts are implemented. So we appreciate your effort, Mayor, Board of Works members and the city council that just left office, and the one that will be coming on as well, so, because we'll be on them soon too.
Well, I think, as Carrie mentioned, this has been a fairly involved and detailed process. We started almost a year ago working on these particular agreements, and after some arm wrestling and and some but some good cooperative efforts between both all the agencies and unions, it's been a good process. I think we have a good product. I think we have a good working relationship and a good basis to make sure we hold each other accountable to our part of the bargain. And so we want to take this opportunity today to sign these agreements and to thank you. Mark, you may want something to add, and the other Mark may want something to add.
Mayor, I just want to thank everybody from the city for the working relationship the FOP has with the city here. It's kind of nice and refreshing after some things you see on TV. I think they're getting along a lot better now in the city of Indianapolis, which is great. But the relationship we have with the city here is wonderful, and we can hope to continue that relationship with the city. And we think with the new contract we have, it helps both the officers on the department, keeping officers here and keeping the citizens of Beech Grove safe. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for your service. Mr. Smith, anything to add?
I have nothing to add to Carrick. I think he pretty much said it all for us.
That was Mark's was a little bit unique in that this was kind of as you know, Mayor, a tougher road to hoe, because it was something that there were a lot of issues that we felt needed to be addressed still in dispatch. The dialogue, although it had always been there, wasn't as consistent as it was for the firefighters, mainly because we made it that way. Over the last year or so, we've been able to come up with a contract that we think serves these dispatchers now and well into the future. So we appreciate that again. Also, you are aware of this, but for those that aren't, we get a lot of support and collaboration and guidance from our local 416. Mike Reeves, Randy Adams, Ted Waltrip, the executive board down there does a lot behind the scenes as far as guiding us on what direction we go with things. So we appreciate their help on all this as well. So.
Thanks, Mike, for your guidance and leadership
Glad
there.
to be here, and glad he did it, and I didn't have to spend a lot of time down here. I was kind of busy last year.
A little bit, huh? Well, I know, and Carrick mentioned our efforts in dispatch are pretty far-reaching in this next 12-month cycle to create a separate department with separate leadership and separate attention to the professional career development of our dispatchers, not only from their individual goals, but also to move dispatch to a higher level of service for our citizens. And I think that's a good goal to have, and this contract spells it out specifically in how we intend to achieve that goal. And working with the transition of the way it is today to the way it's going to become with the police department, I think is also, it's going to be a good experience and a good exercise. I'm looking forward to working with you guys on that. Thanks very much, and let's give them a round of applause and our public safety. So with that then, we will move these agreements to the board. Three of them are there, okay. And we'll get Bruce's autograph on these since he was here when the approval took place.
Make sure it's signed.
Yeah.
Disappearing ink.
Disappearing ink.
We need to write in the date that the council, I think that was on December the 8th. That's the only thing missing here. Should have been the 10th, December 10th will be the council day. And they adopted it. That is the council adoption day, right? Yeah. Not giving them one, are you?
Next.
Everybody's filling the date. Another set.
Please.
You guys should keep one set, the mayor should get one set, and I should get a set. Or the clerk treasurer's office should have the mayor's set.
We can collect them, have Bruce sign them, or just, if you want to take yours with you, that's fine. We'll have him sign the one in the clerk's office.
I'll just bring them
Yeah, that'd
then.
be good.
We're gonna need to take a break.
Guys, come back next Wednesday. Bruce will be here for that if you want to bring your copies back. Oh, already? Wait till the ink's dry.
You're the one that told me that. Always working for the next one.
Those are two for us.
One copy of each.
Well, you want Bruce to sign yours first, or?
You guys keep
and then-
one and give us two.
Okay.
One in the clerk's office, one in the...
Thank you. Appreciate
We're
it.
missing the
Thank you.
lodge president here.
Police, fire. Okay.
You want to take...
Well, I don't think that we should distribute the contracts till we've got all this, I mean, you're just not gonna have these guys sign?
You wanted... Can Aaron be here next Wednesday and get them signed? Or just stop by then?
Sarah, if you wanna keep all of the contracts, so they're all fully executed in your office, you'll have three
all of it?
originals of three sets.
Ours as well.
Yeah,
That way you got
there's
them all.
one more we still need,
I'll
I'd
just-
rather do it that way, that way they're all.
I'll just bring all of them to the next meeting.
But if we want to hold off on.
Okay.
Is that all right?
We'll keep them all in one
So
place then.
Sarah will keep them all until Bruce signs.
We need
I'll just-
Bruce and we need
You
Aaron.
got Bruce and
I'll bring
Aaron.
him.
One go together.
Okay.
There you go. He's right here. Thank you.
Hey, thank you, you're welcome. Thank you, thank you. Mike, good to see you as always.
Thanks. Okay, so we have
Yeah,
three
I'll-
contracts and three originals and need two signatures.
Yes.
We'll get all those signed up. Get all? Okay, good. Okay, moving on to department reports. We'll hear from our public safety departments. Chief Buckley?
Thank you, Your Honor, members of the board. Before I start the report, I too would like to thank the mayor and Bob and Bruce for their support of this and the district. I remember when the organized labor first came in here 6 years ago, and Carrick was the fourth president, and we started working through this agreement, and it was really good stuff. And some of the rank and file asked me how I thought about it, and I told them, I said, you know, if I was you folks, I would probably ratify this. And the first check that we got last Thursday verifies the reason why they should have ratified this agreement, especially when it comes to pension benefits. So as somebody who lives here and works here, I truly appreciate what the mayor did and the board did on our behalf, and the council. My report for November, 119 fire runs, 91 EMS runs, which is good because that's down about 20 over the previous month. Fire loss, $12,000, which is very good. Our fire loss for 2007 is down significantly, and I'm grateful for that. We conducted 17 inspections, 41 compliance inspections, 156 daily checks, 351 hours of training, which is good, and 280 hours of station preventative maintenance. On page 2, fire responses, 68 residential, 20 commercial, 8 institutional, 12 vehicle, 3 grass trash, and 8 miscellaneous. We had 1 accidental fire within the city of Beech Grove, and we responded to 13 false alarms, which is about average. During the month of November, we received mutual aid 15 times and assisted with mutual aid 11 times. The majority of those 11 out-of-city responses were into Perry Township, so we're starting to gravitate that way a little bit, but that was planned. Page 3, EMS responses, 28 residential, 18 public building, 27 apartments, 7 institutional, and 11 traffic accidents. Paramedics issued 8 medical releases. Our ambulance responded on 91 calls, and we had 14 calls for an ambulance when I could not provide one. So the type of responses for November: chest pains 9, falls 5, which is down significantly from October, unresponsive patients 3, difficulty breathing 17, which is not good, seizures 5, sick persons 19, diabetics 2, overdoses 6, assaults 3, trauma 3, CVAs or strokes 2, 1 suicide, 1 person tased, and 1 person was bitten by a canine. And those, Your Honor, are all ALS runs. During the month of November, we received mutual aid 14 times and assisted with mutual aid 8 times. And for the board's information, it's not on the report, I had the year-end statistics from MedBill, and they collected over $233,000 in ambulance revenues for 2007, which is about $73,000 more than a year ago. And the point I want to make is the rates had not been increased, so that was a very good business decision on the part of the city. I also want to brief the board, and the mayor and I talked about it this morning. I would like to approach the board and the council this spring to adjust our ambulance rates. Medicare has come out with some new payments which are consistent and to this geographic area of the country, so we need to adjust our rates appropriately. We are working through some new Medicare requirements for signatures, and if patients can't sign, how we document that. So we're working through that this week and next week. And then I will approach the board in February with the Medicare, Medicaid write-offs for 2007. So we're working on that also. So we're quite busy there. Next page is injury prevention report, 17 inspections, 23 recommendations, 20 compliances. Firefighters conducted 29 residential smoke detector checks, which was good. Firefighters installed 6 smoke detectors and batteries, and we issued 21 special permits. Under the compliance, conducted 41 inspections. City Hall issued 13 permits. The value of construction, $108,351. The Marion County Board of Health conducted 28 initial inspections. There were 45 work orders issued, and the police department tagged 12 vehicles. The next page is a maintenance report. Daily checks, 156. Weekly pump and engine checks were 12. And I do also want to brief the board, the second to the last page under current events, the 4th sentence from the bottom. NIMS classes has been completed for all of our officers from lieutenant up. That is, we are way ahead of the curve. Within the first quarter of 2008, NIMS will be 300 classes will be offered to all fill-in officers. So the board approved a resolution concerning NIMS at the last board meeting, and we are doing quite well in that. And on the last page, Your Honor, the third paragraph from the bottom, I would like to report to you and the board that new employees Angela Powers and Brandon Day have begun employment. Angela Powers has been released to regular duty. New firefighters James Johnson, Sean Toller, and Tina Lee will begin their orientation on January the 7th. They are in the third day of their 80-hour orientation, and they are doing very well. So that concludes my report. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Board, have any questions for Dennis? No. Thanks, Chief.
Good afternoon.
Good.
The Beech Grove Police Department activity report for November. We had 1,740 total police responses. Figured into that is 972 dispatch runs, 342 traffic stops. Going down again on page 1 on the left side of the page, criminal arrests 99, which puts us slightly above last year's rate. Juvenile arrests 14 for the month, which puts us about 10 below this time last year. Accident reports, just something to highlight there that I think is significant is that we had no personal injury accidents during the month of November, which is the first month of the year that that's happened, which is good news. We took a total of 192 incident reports, which on the year you can see is almost tracking very close to even for the year. We had 45 alarm runs, and as is typical, businesses usually are outpacing residences in terms of runs. And as I've mentioned in this meeting before, virtually most all of the reports are alarms are false. They are sometimes good alarms, but they are an employee that doesn't get a code punched in time or something like that. And that is something, one of the items that we intend to hopefully have some impact on with our city court, being able to cite the chronic violators of false alarms. The dropping down to hotel motel runs, we had a total of 18 for the month. Something just that I mentioned to the city council the other night, the Holiday Inn, or former Holiday Inn, now known as the Ambassador Hotel, I have it on fairly good authority that they are attaching themselves to a national chain, which if that comes to pass, that'll be good news and at least one less deeper concern than the way that looked like that was going to go. So I will keep you posted on that. On page 2, investigations report. In the month of November, we had 0 violent crimes under Part 1 crimes. The last time that has occurred was I believe, a little over 2 years ago, where we had all 4 of those categories that reflected no reports being made, which is definitely good news. The bottom of the page, under cleared cases, we continue to clear both Part 1 and Part 2 crimes at a very good rate, and they are very persistent back there. I guess I want to highlight something that's not on your report this month, but I've looked ahead just a little bit for year-end data, and we also finished the month of December with 0 Part 1 crimes being reported. The area, as you know, that I've focused in on and been tracking for seems like forever is robberies, and we've gone 2 months now, November and December, with no robberies being reported, which is definitely good news. Those are, again, that can rear its head again at any time, but we're happy that we were able to finish the year instead of 6.7% lower, which was for November. We actually did finish the year about 11 to 12% lower than 2006. So we hope that trend continues. Going back to November, you see reflected there 5 stolen vehicles under property crimes. Once again, as is true to form, 3 out of the 5 stolen vehicles, the victim knew the perpetrator. Hard to prevent those. In one case, a victim's grandchild took their vehicle Another one, a boyfriend took a car without permission, and then the third one that I'm referring to is the victim's brother stole their vehicle. So usually, in the long run, a lot of times those aren't prosecuted, but they are reflected on a report. But I just want you to have an accurate picture of what those 5 represented. Animal control, we've been very fortunate that we haven't had some of the huge issues that we see in the news with particularly canines. The only thing I'd like to bring to the board's attention is that our animal control officer, Steve Durbin, has been offered, and we've accepted an invitation to participate in a school free of charge to us. But basically, it's to train him in working with apprehension of animals by means other than just a stick and him standing out in a yard doing that. He doesn't have a lot of defenses available to him. We sent him to taser training a year ago, and so he is armed with a taser for animals, but this is another thing that's available to us that I've long wanted to look into, and that class is being, again, offered to us along with the equipment free of charge, so we intend to take advantage of that. Juvenile report, I would just call your attention to the fact that we're about 5 to 6% lower this year under juveniles processed than this time last year. And then pages 6 to the end of the report really include all the training that we've done. It's a little more significant near the end of the year as officers are ensuring that they comply with our requirement on the amount of training that they need to make sure that they have by year's end. And you see the different areas there. Both police officers and communications have participated in the training. I'd like to finish my report with just a notice, and I mentioned this as well on Monday evening. A week from tonight at 6 o'clock at the community center, we'll be having a Beech Grove Crime Watch meeting, a neighborhood, or a community-wide meeting, actually. There'll be a staff of individuals there from the city to answer questions, but more importantly, to kind of focus in on what some of our issues that we see are. We want to hear from citizens on what they perceive some of the problems that they are dealing with in their neighborhoods. Ultimately, what we hope to have is some citizen involvement in our Neighborhood Watch program. This time last year, the program really didn't exist here in Beech Grove, and we've had some very proactive individuals that have taken that as a project and continue to sign up block captains, but it's really an informational meeting, and we would encourage people that are interested in this to come out. There is information on the website from the Beech Grove Police Department webpage. There is a link to the Beech Grove Crime Watch website, and we hope to see everybody there. Again, January 16th, a week from tonight, 6 p.m. at the Hornet Park Community Center. That concludes my report for the month of November. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Board members have any questions? I think it's, first of all, to commend your agency on the crime reduction. Looking back again at some of the key indicators that you mentioned earlier is the number of tracking all those type 1, especially that one category of type 1. And the correlation, again, I try to draw some correlations to see if there are some that you can be drawn, and I know it's tough to do it in a small amount of information, or a small period of time, but I've noticed in the total police response is down 9.5% through November. I don't know if that December tracked even further, or as it did on the type 1 crimes, which are down almost 12% through December.
I didn't pull that particular category. I definitely wanted to pull the Part 1 crimes, sure. and that's the only one that I got some advanced numbers on.
And then to see the property hold kind of flat, but the violent, which are the ones that affect directly the folks, people, being down 10.9 through November and further down in December. That's a great credit to the efforts of the department, and to continue to close cases at a much higher rate than the national. Again, it's credit to the investigations division, so I just want to say thanks for that.
They all do a fine job.
They do.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Rich.
Thank you.
Tom, you have a street department report?
Sam gave me some notes here. The bulk of it involves just the normal day-to-day operations, cleaning catch basins, repairing the chuck holes in the streets and alleys, replacing signs, that type of thing. But we would like to note that the leaf collection program, which ended December 15th, ended again yesterday. We hope that truck's finally been repurposed, so if you have leaves now and in the future, if you'd bag those, we'll pick them up with the regular trash. And the street sweeping is continuing on a daily basis, and the new schedule for the Operation Clean Sweep should be available to the public shortly, so they'll know when we'll be in their neighborhood.
Again, that's a continuation of the Clean City Initiative with the zone cleanings.
Yep.
So every neighborhood street will be swept about once every 4 weeks.
Correct.
And the thoroughfares get swept every week, but the neighborhood streets then get swept every 4 weeks. But you'll know the day that your zone will be swept, giving you an opportunity to prepare for that day and, to the extent possible, get the cars off the street. I know that's not possible in a lot of cases, but also to bring to our attention anything that needs special attention, because we'll be in that area with a special focus on that day. So we'll get door hangers out to let you know what days your zone is going to be swept.
I might mention, too, that yesterday we spent most of the day with 8 people trying to keep catch basins open. So if you're lucky enough to have one of those structures near your house and you can keep it clean, that will help us. If you can't do it and you need assistance and you notice that there's debris there that we haven't gotten, give us a call and we try to head off any problems related to that. Thanks.
Thanks, Tom. I'm going to ask our clerk to read the Senior Citizens Center report in their absence today, please.
In December, the Beech Grove Senior Citizens Center had 4 new members. They transported 218 people in the month of December. Last month was a very busy month with all of the holiday festivities going on for everyone. We had a tree decorating contest among the seniors and prizes were awarded. The decorated trees were then donated to Servant's Heart to be distributed to needy families. The seniors celebrated Christmas together at their monthly pitch-in dinner, and Beverly Rehabilitation of Indianapolis provided fried chicken. We tried to make sure the senior citizens had ample opportunity to do all their holiday shopping, and Debbie took them out for an evening meal at Old Country Buffet and downtown to the Circle and surrounding areas to view all of the Christmas lights on display. The senior chorus entertained at St. Francis Hospital and at some of the local nursing homes during the month. The Classy Lassie Red Hats enjoyed a wonderful lunch at Copper Kettle in Morristown. To wrap up another great year at the center, we toasted in the new year with sparkling grape juice. All in all, I think 2007 was a great year at the center, and we have big plans for 2008.
Thank you. Diana? Fitness Center report. Or Community Center report.
Good afternoon. I know you had mentioned the Servant's Heart with regards to the Senior Citizens Center. They did a great job over Christmas. They were at the community center handing out gifts to families, and the community center, the banquet room was just filled with gifts for people. And we had Santa in there and everything, but I say kudos to Servant's Heart. They did a great job in doing that. I know they're not here, and just you mentioning them in that report, I thought I'd mention that. On the first page of our meeting report here, we're showing a combined total at the fitness center, or I should say at the community center, of $4,811.25. For room rental fees, $2,291.25 was from there, and then the fitness facility side is $2,520. I'm going to just have you skip over the second page and just go to the third page where the charts are. And just looking at our charts, if you look at the monthly passes purchased, you can see that we're still climbing up now, and so that's a good thing. We had several Christmas gifts bought as passes, so that was really nice. I think we did 5 or 6 of those. So people are now looking at that as being something that would be a good gift to give to friends or family members. We've got now a total base of 450 members, where 252 of those are currently active. Again, with the 3-month renewal, at that point, people are coming in and out as they're able to get there. And our senior combo is picking back up again. What I'm seeing is a lot of the group exercise is heading over into our combo, which means they're using fitness and group exercise both, which has been really good. So they're getting a mix of all of the exercise. And then on the back side of that is our group exercise participation. As most health clubs do, we shut down between 12/23 and 1/3. We came back a couple of days sooner than a lot of them do. They're usually out the full 2 weeks, but we didn't go the full 2 weeks. So it was kind of down in our participation of members, but then again, it would be anyway for the holidays, so that's why most people take a break at that time. Something that a lot of the members at the center did the beginning of December is we got involved with the arthritis walk that they had, the Jingle Bell Walk Run event that they had downtown Indianapolis. It was really nice to see a lot of our members out there doing that walk. There's another one coming up this next June that we're trying to get more people at the center involved with. And Arthritis Foundation, since we work with the Tai Chi through them, and we've also kind of brought them in as a partner, it's kind of nice to get involved in their events that they're doing. The other two things that I wanted to point out from here is our Bike-a-thon kickoff meeting is going to be January 17th, and that's basically a fundraiser for the center to help bring in more funds to help us out with possibly purchasing equipment and that. So that's coming up. And then also the family exercise program. The partners, we're all going to get together and meet on the 23rd to discuss the comments that the attorney did with the review on the MOU, and then see where we stand with that. And 2008 program guide is attached. There has been a couple of new classes added, one at 9:30 in the day for the seniors. It's actually a chair Pilates, since they really can't participate in the floor Pilates. A lot of them can't get onto the floor. So now we're doing Friday at 9:30 a chair Pilates. And then the Shake It Up cardio class is going well, so we were excited with that one. I would like to make a comment that our instructors are doing a great job. All of us at the center, Tim, Nancy, Ted, Marlene, Kathy, everybody that works in the front, and then also our maintenance, which is Michelle and Lindsay now, are doing a great job at keeping the facility up and running. I've got a report that Mayor will go over in the meeting where we meet to look at the financial area where we practically doubled in income. So to keep still running on the staff that was there with just maybe one addition on top of that is doing very well. So everybody's doing a great job, and I just wanted to make sure that I made that comment as well. Any other questions or anything?
Questions? Thanks,
Okay.
Dana.
Thank you.
That concludes department reports. Moving on to new business. What's the pleasure of the board on the claims as they've been submitted?
Make a motion to approve the manual claims in the amount of $120,417.34.
I'll second that motion. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye. And then the regular, I make a motion to approve the regular claims in the amount of $112,806.15.
I second that motion. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We have two uniform conflict of interest disclosure statements. These are annual recurring disclosures between employees. And Dennis, you want to mention both of these?
Yes, sir. They concern Troy Haskett and Lynn Rackaway, and Your Honor, I would like to defer to city legal if I could on this matter.
Mayor, members of the board, as you know, these are the annual conflict of interest disclosure statements that are submitted to you by these employees relating to their business, their personal businesses, and their potential for doing business with the city. Upon your approval, those are in ordinary practice, then submitted to the council for their approval, and then submitted with the Indiana State Board of Accounts for their records.
What's the pleasure of the board on approving the uniform conflict of interest disclosure statement for Troy Haskett?
Make a motion to approve that for Troy.
I will second that. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. And the pleasure of the board on the statement from Lynn Reckaway.
And make a motion to approve Lynn Rickaway.
Second that. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Chief. And those need to go on the council agenda. This board needs to additionally consider the amendments presented by Westland Agreement. First of all, Amendment Number 2, which is the 2008 Annual Stormwater Services in an amount not to exceed $25,000. What's the pleasure of the board?
Make a motion to approve that plan.
Motion, I would second that. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. And likewise, on amendment number 3, for sanitary sewage collection system on-call services not to exceed $18,000. What's the pleasure of the board?
Make a motion to approve amendment number 3.
Motion, I second that. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. We have an item that Rich is presenting before the board, and I think, Chief, what we're going to do is, I'm not sure what the timing is, but this is on a trade-in of a vehicle that exceeds the statutory amount for a process that only stops here.
Okay.
So there needs to be an advertisement, so
I just need to double check. I can't remember if you're over the limit. I think you're over the limit, so we need to work through that process to make this happen, Chief. So if we get
Okay.
that till next Wednesday.
Okay,
is that all right?
sounds fine.
Then I would move we table this item for the next meeting on January the 16th. Do I have a second?
Second.
This item will be tabled then. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We'll table that item for the 16th and give the city attorney a chance to inform the board of that process we need to follow. That concludes new business before this board. There is no unfinished business. The next board meeting will be on, as I said, on January the 16th, following Board of Sanitation, which will convene at 3 p.m. in the same location. Any comments from board members?
Nope.
If not, I need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second that. This meeting is adjourned. Thanks very much.